Okay. I'm definitely going to sound like a collectivist communist with this, especially starting out. However, it is true how things are currently that in order for people to be rich, you have to have people to be poor. You have to have people who are servants, who are slaves. And honestly, I've been a slave my whole life. So, like, when people say, oh, go on EBT, you'll be a slave, like, I already am. I've already been a slave. Here is the problem. The rich, the elites, are not giving enough back. It feels like they're just taking. This is what I was trying to convey with my video. My last video. With the whole AI, or a couple of videos with the AI little speaker at the fast food restaurant. It's like, you guys are not investing into the infrastructure. You're not making things better. Healthcare, I've seen in the last 15 years, healthcare has become absolutely useless. I would get a cost of living raise every year, and that was it. A cost of living raise. And when they printed out all that money in 2020 and they're still giving a 3% cost of living raise, like in 2023, I got one of the biggest raises because at one of these places I worked, I was pretty much due it. And they knew it, and they gave me a 13% raise, while everyone else basically got like a 3% raise. It's not a raise if it's just keeping up with inflation, and then on top of it, your health insurance goes up every year. It's not a raise. We haven't been getting a raise, people, because somebody makes here where I'm at, they just up the minimum wage to $15 an hour, and people are, ooh, these companies, these corporations have a lot of money. They have billions of assets. And I think that we are tired of not owning any assets as well. I understand the whole concept of they don't have cash. They have to sell their assets, and their assets are like an estimated value. I get that. But the problem is when the rest of us can't afford assets, okay? Because we're having to spend all of our money, and including like me having to go without health insurance. Some of it out of principle. The other one is because I have fucking debt like everybody else. There is no, hey, we're gonna let you have a couple years to try to, it's like here's a couple years and try to get your shit together. No, it's you have to like. People who like, I'm sorry, but the people who kept this economy afloat throughout these years are regular people like me that took on debt, okay, to survive. Some people, like, they lived it up. But there's a lot of regular Americans who are doing the right thing. They're working hard, and it feels like they're working for nothing, and that's what it feels like. And Trump is either being lied to, or maybe things are better than it seems behind the scenes. I mean, I kind of feel like I'm in the same boat as I was like a year ago, basically, when it comes to just, why don't you work more? Why don't you work more hours? Why don't you work 80 hours a week? Because that's bullshit. I shouldn't have to work 80 hours a week to be able to pay all my bills, pay for health insurance. I should be able to go to a doctor every year, a dentist. Can't afford it. Oh, that's your fault. It's like, dude, I shouldn't have to become an accountant to figure out my fucking bills. You know what I mean? It's just like, and I'm not, and what, I feel like I'm in a decent spot, but compare, like, the average American, like, they're not, man. And to top it off, we don't own a house. We can't buy a house. And then you just see, like, these corporations buying up all these houses. And it's like, how is this allowed? And do I even want to have a house since I have to pay property tax on it every year? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what is this? How am I free? Like, I would like to buy a house, and when I have it paid off, not have to pay on the owing the government. Like, really? And especially since if they were spending it properly, and reinvesting in our communities, making things better, like, and stuff like that, that's one thing. I don't mind paying taxes if you're making my community better, but they're not. They're just giving our money away to people. Not everybody who is on welfare is a freeloader. There's a lot of people who are working and they just don't get paid enough by these corporations. And my experience with these corporations is they always go for the bottom workers, and they try to just take as much as they can from us. But we're the people that are the ones producing everything. We're the ones that make everything happen. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating. My last job, we would be short-handed, so we have to work harder and longer. And it seems like there's people in the office that could have came and helped us, but given the fact that how things were set up with that company and the union, they couldn't, even if they wanted to. So, you know, we would go in there, we're like, we don't want to work more hours or whatever. It's hard labor. And they're in there just having a good time. You know how demoralizing that is? These people are making more money than me, and I'm more important than them. And it's like, it just seems like there's more of them than there was of us. And I'm just like, why are these? I understand ultra rich people or celebrities thinking they're better than me and shit like that. That's one thing, you know. They live in a bubble. They don't live in real life. But when you're a worker like me and I'm looked down on, a hard worker, without us, like, everyone would die. And we're looked down on. It's just like we're paid shit. We're not taken care of. And it's like, dude, if we go away, then, like, who's gonna do the work? Because, like, these soft-handed dudes aren't gonna do the work. These feminine, like, these so-called feminist strong women aren't gonna come and do the work. And it's like, at least if I'm not gonna get paid right, give me respect. I don't need to be propped up, but I don't need to be looked down on either. And That's where I'm coming from. Oh, you're not educated. Like, this is what they say. Like, you're not educated, bitch. I can get a college diploma. It's not really that fucking hard. You know what I mean? You didn't solve world hunger. You just got a college degree. You're not that intelligent. And it's just like the arrogance with these people that I'm just fucking tired of. I'm seeing these same people who make videos, right? And this is where my frustration comes from, when they're like, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And it's like, you live in a bubble. You don't live in reality. You make money by talking in front of a camera. Oh my gosh, that is so hard. That's real hard work. You can just set up. I can set up I do all the time. You look at my... Nobody's going to go look, but... My whole history of my YouTube channel, I probably have 800, 900 videos. It's all kinds of backgrounds. I can set up a shop anywhere and just start making a video. Well, I have to be somewhere at a certain time, at a certain place, and be there for, until the job is done. And these people who tell me that I have to go to the gym and like basically do this and that, and like, fuck you, okay? Fuck you. And this is what I'm talking about in some of my videos. Like, when I was saying that Rolo has a wife, do you think that he does the dishes? Do you think he really does the housework? Like, really? Well, that's what I fucking have to do. That's what regular people have to do. So these people who tell me I gotta do this, I gotta do that, are living a soft life as it is. I'm living a hard fucking life. And you're telling me I have to make my shit even fucking harder? I don't get the validation you get. I don't get the money you get. I don't get the networks that you get, the different opportunities that you get. And you guys have the audacity to come talk down to me like I have to go to the fucking gym after I just got done at a 12-hour fucking shift. For what? All my days off, they're not even days off because I have to go run errands. And it's like, can I fucking relax, dude? I think people are just fucking tired of grinding, and it seems like it's for nothing, dude. That's what it fucking feels like. If I work hard, I don't mind working hard. I just, in 7 days, I busted out 19 chapters in my memoir, and I basically almost have it done. And I told Grok this, and Grok's like, wow. Sometimes it takes people years. Some people never finish their book. And I work a regular job. I'm a regular person. If there's something that like really interests me and I'm really passionate about, I can like put in mass amount of attention, like an Elon. Part of the reason why I'm like, I need to get this done is because, I could be gone at any time. That's the thing about life, is you can, a car accident. And I'm like, I just want to be able to get this out there. Even if nobody sees it, maybe my kids see it, maybe family members sees it. I think that it could be highly relatable to people. So I'm like, I need to make this. And I probably could have done my whole 45 years. I decided to cut it off at around 30. And I'm going to probably keep writing it. But publishing it is just, I don't want to there's too many connections and things are still recent, and if the wrong person sees it and it gets back to the other person, even if I change the names or some of the like scenarios, they could still like, hey, that's you. And I don't want people to feel like, so like my childhood or whatever, nobody's gonna remember that shit. You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna fucking remember. So yeah, it's just, it's so like, it's so demoralizing nowadays. And what am I grinding for like stuff so I can like try to impress people that don't care anyway? Am I supposed to try to attract a woman with it that don't care about me, that only cares about that stuff? That's something she values. You know, it's like I'm over the whole fucking grinding. I don't care about being rich. I want to be able to take a month off of work and not have to think that like my life is going to be ruined. I want to be able to take 6 months off of work and do some real work on myself. You know, correct my eating habits. No, it's just like we have to we can't fix any of our traumas. A lot of us have fucking traumas that we cannot fix. And we just have to keep sweeping underneath the fucking rug and moving forward and keep slaving away. And I understand, you know, we have to give back to our communities. And I will want to. But it just seems like, what are we working so hard for? Why are we doing what we're doing? The culture is dead. And I know I know I seem black-pilled sometimes, and it's what I'm talking about right now is it's just the general frustration of people, okay? And I just want things to get better, and I want it to feel like when you work hard, you should get rewarded, and it just doesn't feel like it. And it feels like even if you was to grind away 80 hours a week or whatever, like they say, you know, work your regular job to support yourself and then work another job trying to like going to school or something. It's like, who has that time? It's so unrealistic. Don't waste time. Don't waste time. What does it fucking matter? You know, like, I get it if you're a woman and you want kids, you can't waste time. But if you're a guy, it's like, yeah, who cares? And we do have that apathy. I'm wanting to better myself. That's why I quit smoking weed, because I want to get a different job so I don't have to drive an hour each way to work, even if I'm making less money and I have to work more hours. I am so like, that is such a, I'm putting myself at risk and other people at risk by driving an hour to work, working 12 hours all through the night in a graveyard shift, to have to get in my car and drive home for an hour. I'm putting people at risk and myself. And I feel like I can do this right now. Like, if I get really, really tired, I'll just pull off on the side of the road, but it's unhealthy. Why do we have these shifts where we work in the night anyway? Like, that should be done with. And if we are, we should get paid really well for having to do it. Why do we have scarcity? It just feels like complete slavery, man. It feels so hard to get out of debt. It feels so hard to get ahead. You're not working hard enough. If you lived my life, worked as hard as I've done on different projects and my regular jobs, these people who say I don't work hard enough, they would already end their life. Not having any type of support, not having a cheerleader, they would have ended themselves. They couldn't handle this. And I just want things to get better. I don't mind working a regular job. I just want to be able to, I put in 40 hours a week. I want to have my health insurance taken care of. It's supposed to be a benefit. It's not a benefit no more. I don't really fucking care whose fault it is. It's the Democrats or the Republicans. It's a fucking problem. Somebody solve this shit. I'm like, okay, the Republicans are taking away pop and like candy and stuff off of food stamps. I think that they should just give them the essentials, man. If you know, oh, my kid can't have a candy. Yeah, your kid can't have a candy. That's because you don't want to work. You want better for your kids, come out here and work like us. Make better decisions of like who you have kids with. It's just frustrating. And it's just like, it just feels like everything is fake. And it's because of the internet, man. All of these people who have assets can push their posts. And you have people like Ed Krasenstein who are trying to go against the American people. You got politicians on the left who are going against American people, and they're picking illegals over us. And they're actively trying to fight getting these people out. They let them in. Why isn't anything happening to them? It's like, dude, do you not understand that if I was to make threats, if I was to sit here and make threats, I guarantee you I would probably get banned. I would have the FBI come and visit me. But the left, nothing happens to them. Why? Why can somebody say racist stuff about white people and they're not white? Why is that allowed? But if I was to do it in the opposite, then that's a problem. What's with these double fucking standards? I just want fair treatment for everybody. Why are these politicians not being held accountable? Why are they not being investigated? How can they not? If Doge found all this corruption and all that, like, there should be paper. Did everything get destroyed? Nothing's being done. I think that's where the frustration comes in, and then other people are like, what's with the Epstein files? And why are these elites being able to get away with this stuff? I see the pendulum swinging back, and that's good. I like that. I feel a little bit more free to be able to speak, be able to joke around. But if I criticize somebody on their platform that they made their stuff public, why am I like, you made it public, dude? Just like this, I'm putting myself out for criticism. I make all my stuff public. I understand that. This is why I think that not everybody needs to be on social media. And I think that we need our own fucking fake social medias. I want my own social media where I'm the main character. I want my own Twitter where I'm having like... I don't care if it's fake. It's like I'm playing video games, they're fake. I go on there, I get some like AI version of Elon Trump tweeting back at me, all these people. And I can go down and see what they would say. It's a simulation. That's what people need. Even if it's fake attention, man. Even if it's fake attention by bots. I don't think that most people are cut out for the attention that they want. Case in point, women film themselves, put themselves in provocative poses on the internet, wearing skin tight stuff. But if you see them in reality and like you film them, oh, that's a problem. But it's like, dude, like you are putting yourself out there anyway. I'm not saying that. It's kind of like, you know, that's what paparazzi used to do. And is it weird that somebody in public is filming you or whatever? Yeah. Is it weird that you're doing that yourself? Yeah. Is it weird that I'm filming myself right now? Yeah. You know, if I went to the store and then all of a sudden all these people started like filming me at like the paparazzi, I don't know how I would handle that. Maybe I'm not. Maybe this is a blessing that I never got popular. Maybe that's a blessing. Maybe I won't be able to handle it very well. You know, like I can definitely go on like you know, these different discussions on spaces where there's like big figures and talk to them. But I don't want to have to go in there and like... Most people don't like what I say anyway. So it's like, if people want me to have a discussion, they need to come and they need to invite me. But anyway, like, why am I making this about myself? I guess because I went into the transition of talking about social media being a podcast or whatever. Am I successful? I don't know. Am I successful? Most books that have been written, haven't been read by the masses. You know, they're not popular. But, you know, a lot of the people are like, in their lives, that's something that they would like to do is write a book. And I've done it twice by myself, published it by myself, made the art by myself, edited everything by myself. That's why it's all shitty. But they're both shitty when it comes to that. But 100% on my own. Am I successful for actually accomplishing that? Yeah. I think so. Just because I'm not popular doesn't mean I'm not successful in doing that. Creating my own music, and just because I'm not successful or popular doesn't mean like I didn't accomplish something. You know, it's like people who climb mountains or something like that. Like, unless a lot of the times in the past, people weren't filming it. Like, Nobody sees it, just you. But they're successful for doing that feat, right? I feel successful. I've raised my kids, raised a family, basically all on my own. Am I still here? Yeah, so I'm still successful here at this age. I could have went down a bad path when I was younger. It is frustrating. The way things are just seems with social media, it just doesn't feel authentic. It really feels like we're being pushed off of social media. It doesn't feel organic anymore. It feels corporate. Do you want to know how people get famous? It's money. Yeah, like a band. Of course they had to start a following, but you still needed that executive to hear that demo and give them a shot. And what pushed him out was money. That's what pushed him to get famous. That's what record companies were doing. They're basically like a somewhat of a bank and a marketing. They're just a marketing company. That's all they really were. They market your product for you. That's why when people would go mainstream, they were like an underground band. They went mainstream and people were like, they're sold out. Because it doesn't feel organic anymore. It feels like, it was organic. Okay, let's say like the grunge. How like when that came up. That started in the 80s, in the mid 80s or whatever, early 80s. And then they just had their own little thing there. And then, Nirvana came out, they just started, they seen Nirvana, like, oh, what else is there? Oh, look at all these bands. Look at this scene here. And then here comes the mainstream media putting in all the money to fund it, to push the product. It costs money to make CDs. It costs money to ship the CDs. It's so hard to do that for myself. Like, why? I would, if I had like a bunch of money or money backing me, I can make all of my products very famous. I can make it all mainstream. I can make songs mainstream. I can make this podcast, this channel really popular. Because, what I'm seeing right now, people are pushing their stuff out here. And it's money. It's money that pushes it. Whether it's a post, a video. It's money that makes everything go around. And it's either you have it or you don't. And if you're somebody in my position, it's highly unlikely you're going to get anywhere. You're pretty much stuck where you're at. I'm not saying you can't. But you're going to have to work extremely hard. And if you're an artist, artists aren't really about working that hard. I mean, they are about working hard on their craft. But they're not hard. We don't like to work hard on doing a business. You know what I mean? It's like, I want to put all of my attention just to my creativity, to whatever I'm creating, whether it's art, like whether I'm painting, writing, making music, making movies, making books, and it's like I asked Grok, what should I do? And I think I'm gonna ask a little bit more in depth. Like, Grok's like, you should still keep doing this. Like, for fucking what though? Why? I'm not getting any opportunities. I'm not going anywhere. I'm sitting in the same spot. I have tons. Right now, I'm sitting at. It almost feels like. What it feels like is I should just start. If I'm gonna do it, I should start over. But it feels pointless to start over. But if I keep putting out content, it's like more of a risk. So let's say the Democrats take back over in 2028. What do you think is going to happen to my content? So like this whole like woke stuff, all that stuff was trendy and cool and everything like that, and then now it's switching the other way. The pendulum is swinging, and then it's going to go the other way. Like what? So then, like, the content I'm making right now might get my channel banned in the future. It's fine for right now, right? They have no problem with it. Oh, you see something that I made in the past, you didn't have a problem then, but since you changed your rules now, now it's a problem. Now you want to give me a strike. Now you want to ban my channel. Do you see where I'm coming from? Where it feels pointless? Like, it's so crazy that we don't really have adult spaces to talk and talk about adult things. Even though I say all of these videos are for adults, it's still like I can't talk about certain things because I'll get hit with a strike. It doesn't even have to be a threat. It could just be me talking about whatever, man. Something that is like the vaccine or whatever, you know what I mean? Oh, you're putting out misinformation. Come on, man. I feel like I'm at a fork in the road, to be honest, where I don't mind living a simple life, and like I have been, working a regular job. That's fine. You guys are obviously have the robots. You're just not investing into the infrastructure. You're not doing anything like that. Things would get a lot cheaper. It's just about oppressing people. That's why I'm kind of like, if this was a capitalist system, we would have stuff fail. We wouldn't have these banks that are too big to fail, or these industries that are too big to fail. What happens in my own personal life if I lose my job or like things go south? Well, I guess I gotta sell off my assets, right? And I'm fucked. Well, they don't have to. They're too big to fail. And it's like, why is the game is rigged against us? It's not fair. I'm not for equality. I'm for fairness. We all come from different places, and it just seems like they already have their elite group. It's kind of like you're at work and then you bust your ass and you probably should be able to move up in the company, but you don't because you're not a part of the clique. So they just, somebody that, they show up every day like you, but they don't work as hard as you, and they get promoted over you because they're in the clique and you're not. And that's how it feels. It feels like the game is rigged against us. And it doesn't matter how hard we work. This is what Gen Z is seeing. This is why Gen Z is like, dude, fuck you. This is why they're not having kids. If you want people to have kids, you have to have an environment where it's a kid-friendly place. And this is what I'm saying with the Republicans. Like, what communities are you building? What towns are you refurbishing? People are like-minded, then you should probably set up something where people can get skills, learn new things, want to move into your area, have like-minded people. We need to separate, We don't need liberals in our red states. We don't need conservatives in the blue states. We need to separate. We're too different. We're too different. They can do whatever they can do to provide, whatever this tech crap, besides the censorship stuff. And we can make our food and all this and that. I don't know. I want the robots to do all the work for us, so we don't have to worry about money anymore, because I feel like money is just basically oppressive. That's what I think. I feel like it's been weaponized. I feel like in order for us to be propped up, we have to keep other countries down. And that's fine if they're taken care of. That's fine if we're taken care of. I don't mind that these people are rich and they're living in their lavish lifestyles. That's fine. Like, good for you. Like, I don't really want that, to be honest. It's too much responsibility. It's just, to me, it's like, it's so weird to be living like that when, like, there's so many people that are struggling to get by. It just, I would feel guilty. Ricky Gervais was talking about this. I just seen a little bit of an interview, and he's like, I feel weird about it. People work just as hard as me, and, like, they're not even close to anything that I have. I honestly, if I became rich, like, overnight, I don't know how. This is just hypothetically. But if I became rich overnight, let's just say I blew up on here. I guess that's the only realistic way at this point, because Bitcoin is not going to pop off. All of a sudden, all these opportunities started opening up for me. You start seeing me on different people's podcasts. You start, maybe like, I start getting these sponsors and everything like that. And then I don't have to work a regular job anymore. Maybe, like, I start getting in really good shape because I'm in front of the camera. I want to be in good shape. Like, being in that spotlight, I want to be, like, the best I can be. I want to look as best I can. But if this is what I'm talking about. Like, if you're just now I understand, like, you don't want to be unhealthy, like obese. I get that. Like, yeah, you want to have a balance, but dude, we have to work these monotonous, boring jobs. We're living these boring fucking lives. Oh, it's our fault. Well, yeah, we didn't get lucky. You know what I mean? Well, you got lucky. or you were planted there, and you want to tell us how we're like, you're living a glamorous life. Could it happen? Yeah. Could somebody like me happen? Yeah. But it's rare. Like I think like the characters are already set. You can break through for sure, but it's so hard. The people who are popular are they're already good. They have their brand. You don't have a brand that's popular, you're fucked. I'm fucked. So then what's the point? That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, what's the fucking point? And I don't mind working hard in real life and just not fucking doing this shit. If I have like a mate I'm working hard with, providing, protecting. But since I don't have that, and I think that other people are in my position as well, they're like, what the fuck? Why? I obviously want security. I don't want to be homeless, okay? So that's why I continue to work hard. Like, then I guess I'm gonna have a fucking shit life, and I'll just be a fucking slave. That's what I am. Enslaved ones. I'm one of the enslaved ones. We're obviously all enslaved. If you're a human, you're enslaved. It's either you're enslaved to your possessions, you're enslaved to money, you're enslaved to your biology. You gotta eat. You gotta, even if you're in the woods, you have to survive. So you're a slave to having to eat, to get water, to provide shelter for yourself, so you don't get eaten in the wild or like the elements. So you're a slave. We're all slaves. I think that's why this brand never really took off, because of that. And maybe if I would have picked a better name, it probably would have got me a lot more. It would have got me farther in this game. I sound unappreciative, and I appreciate. Trust me. It is nice when I make it home in the morning from work. It's nice knowing that I made it another day. I didn't crash my car because I didn't fall asleep. Having a nice hot shower, having clean clothes. I appreciate that stuff. I appreciate my health. I appreciate my kids' health. I appreciate that stuff. But we're not meant to be alone. We're not. It feels like it feels like we've been driven to isolation. And the fact that these companies have to keep us constantly engaged, whether we're swiping or whatever, because if they don't, they won't get the revenue in. Like Tinder or anything like that. They don't want you to meet anybody. If Republicans were really concerned, and Elon Musk, he was really concerned about the population growth, he would make a dating site. He would make one. He would buy one of these and make it actually like work right. Not him himself. He would put the people in the right positions to make it work right. Instead of just like endlessly, trying to like, I think that he genuinely does care about the population, but if you go on Twitter, nobody on there, any woman on there, you can't DM, you can't really talk to except for outside, like in the post, and they don't DM you at all. So it's like, okay, Facebook is cool, I like the database, and then like they won't show anyone in your area. Dude, I'm not even using it anyway. I fucking deleted that shit. I'm not using any fucking dating app because of that. It's frustrating. I don't want people. I said I only want in Facebook dating or anything else, I only want this area. But maybe nobody has profiles anymore too. Maybe that's what's happening. That's not what's happening, because sometimes I would be like swipe, and it's funny too. It's like, if they want you to keep swiping, then why do they only give you so much you can swipe a day on Facebook dating? You know, it's so weird. The dating sites were so much better like 10 years ago. That's what it just feels like. We're being isolated. When I think about the consoles, how we have to basically, if I want to play with somebody else, they have to have a TV. Like they have to be in a different somewhere else, or we have to have two TVs, two different consoles, and then we both have to have online, pay for online to be able to interact with people. $30 a month, when it basically should be fucking free. It just, you know, these elites, I've heard that they didn't want their kids using social media growing up. Why is that? It really just feels like we're being isolated on purpose. And it's honestly, it's us doing it to ourselves. But it's like there's nothing really interesting, you know? The movies were more interesting. The TV shows were more interesting. I think that, you know what I think it is? I think this is the problem, is the reason why it was better when I was growing up, because everything was programmed. I basically have to, and there is that I guess I can go ahead and go back to cable, and then but it's just like, after unplugging from it, I just like fictional stories. It just doesn't really hit like it used to when I was a kid. And I think that's why reality TV like really blew up, because people, we don't want to see exact reality of, because we just want like the interesting stuff, you know, get to the interesting parts. Like I said, if we make a video game like just like real life, nobody would play it. Like if Sims was exactly like real life and you couldn't fast forward it. Imagine if Sims, you couldn't fast forward it. How boring would that be? Nobody would play it. Why is that? Because real life is pretty much fucking boring. Other people make it interesting. But it is hard to connect with people nowadays. And people are on edge. And it's just like, dude, why do we have to feel like we're on edge? And we're the ones working. And then you have these parasite corporations and politicians and people like screwing over our welfare system, getting away with it. And that's the demoralizing part right there. It's just like, There's zero accountability, and there is stuff somewhat getting done, but man, if I was in charge, there would be resistance against me from the other side for sure. But a lot of people would love me as well. Because I want things to be fair. I want to destroy corruption. I want to I want people to not have to rely on the government. I want people to get off of the government. I want safety nets for people for sure. But the safety nets are just trash. They are. What are we improving? We just keep giving people. We're funding people's lives, and they're not doing anything with themselves to better themselves. And it's like they want us on welfare. It's a trap. It's like they want us trapped on it. They want us trapped in the system. Whether it's, medically or financially, they want you trapped in the system. And it is so hard right now to do the right thing and not get government assistance and be outside. You know how hard it is right now for people to not give in and keep fighting to try to be independent. It is hard. The way the corporations act, the way these politicians, these parasites, they're fucking parasites, dude. It's so disgusting to shut down the government where you're not even paying your own fucking security, but you get paid. It should be unanimous with these people. We shut down the government, we don't get paid. Nothing is getting done. They give themselves raises. They work for themselves. They don't work for us. That's why I say fuck Congress. And I guarantee you, if the founding fathers if I had a time machine and I brought them back, they would be fucking disgusted in our country right now. How it's being ran by Congress and the Senate. And these fucking shitty ass sold out courts. How people are being paid to protest by us. They would be disgusted. I've heard that they went to Revolutionary War for far less than whatever the fuck we're going through. I'm still advocating for the system because Trump's in there, and we'll see what happens today. Like I said, if they rule against the tariffs, which is pretty ridiculous because he put tariffs on his first administration and Biden didn't even take them off. So if they do that, I would just be like, fuck you. Especially when he, Amy Coney Barrett, she's obviously a fucking sellout. I'm at the point where I don't want women in politics at all. I want them all out of politics. I don't want them in these positions. There's no long-term vision with these people. When you have that type of responsibility, not only do you have to think about right now, but you also have to think about tomorrow and how it's going to affect people in the future. And what it seems like is these politicians only care about themselves. And they don't see that Dude, I would be seriously like the way that people like Ed Krasinski are pushing shit. Man, I would be afraid. I would be afraid to do that. To keep fighting against our country, to keep fighting for open borders, like while you're living in your fucking ivory tower. You know, he's a keyboard warrior. He's not out here protesting. That's what I'm saying. You have all these people that are trying to instigate fucking riots and shit. They're trying to instigate a civil war. What is getting done about this? It just seems like it all seems fucking fake. It seems like it's all theater. It seems like it's a fucking TV show. It's a fucking movie. And it's just the same shit. It's just okay, here comes, here comes a mass shooting, and then all of a sudden, oh, here comes the Democrats. We're gonna take away your guns, and it's just like, okay, and then that fucking goes away, and then here's something with abortion comes up, and it's just like, it's the fucking, like, the same shit over and over again. No problems are being corrected. And I'm kind of like, okay, Trump this guy in there. He's been in there for a year. He's got 3 more. Let's see what he could do. If the Democrats were in there, I would be like, fuck you. But I want to see if he can make things better. I see the Republicans is like, they're just so weak though, man. I like that he flipped that guy off yesterday that said he's a pedal protector. I like that. He said, fuck you, flipped him off. I like that. Is that presidential? I don't give a fuck. We're in fucking wartime right now, dude. We can be on the brink of World War III. We're basically at a soft World War III right now and civil war. That's what we're at right now. And you think that the president's just going to sit up here and be like, oh, I'm presidential. I gotta be fucking... No. I like that shit. I relate to that. Oh, Trump don't like you. Dude, number one, I don't think about him all the time like these motherfuckers do. And I'm never gonna meet him. I don't care if he likes me as a person. I don't give a fuck. It's just like the boss at my work. I don't care if he's fucking cheating on his wife or whatever. I mean, as long as he's not doing some really harsh shit like killing people or, pedo shit. But if he's cheating on his wife, he's not the most moralistic person, but like I'm very well, I'm taken care of very well. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Whatever.